We have blue skies, a slight breeze, and it's time to play softball for the first time in Columbus, Georgia in the 2015 season. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cougar Field on the campus of Columbus State University. Stephen Williams with you on Cougar Sports TV as we get set for the 2015 home opener for the Columbus State University Lady Cougars. Brad Huskisson in his 10th season with the Columbus State program has his team at 2-2 overall after they started away on the road for the opening weekend, and now they welcome Clark Atlanta University out of Atlanta, Georgia, into town for this Tuesday afternoon home opener doubleheader. It'll be the Lady Cougars defensively looking like this. Rachel Rhodes will start in left, Kia Smith in center, Lindsay DeFee in right, Mackenzie Fagioli at the hot corner, Callie Starr and Katie White up the middle, Sammy Anderson over at first, Casey Meeks behind the plate, and Taylor Turner, the senior out of Savannah, Georgia, will get the start in the circle in this home opener of her final season in a Lady Cougar uniform. Tanisha Winston, the left fielder for Clark Atlanta, will lead things off. For the Panthers, digs into the left side of the batter's box. Turner's pitch fouled away, and we're off and running on this Tuesday afternoon. Perfect day for early February. Not cold, not overly hot, but blue skies and no weather to worry about after we had quite a bit of rain here in Columbus yesterday afternoon. Pitch is down low and away. It's a ball and a strike. Winston, sophomore out of Portland, Oregon. Long way from home there at Clark Atlanta University. A lot of new faces for the Lady Cougars out there in their home white uniforms. Not too many familiar people for those of you that kept up with Lady Cougar softball over the last few years. That one's in there to move it to a ball and 2 strikes. Turner, 1-0 on the season as CSU went to the Georgia College tournament a couple weekends ago. Too far around on the swing was Winston, and she's a strikeout victim to start off Turner's first inning. Shalonda Woods, the shortstop, will be the hitter. A freshman out of Compton, California. Digs in on the right side as Turner gets ready. The bunt attempt. They'll appeal down to first to check. First base umpire says she did go around too far for a strike. CSU, though, 2-2 on the season. They opened the year about as difficult as it gets, taking on the number 2 team in the country, Valdosta State. They were at the Georgia College Bobcat Invitational to start it off back January 31st and February 1st, as that one is another missed bunt attempt. CSU dropped an 11-0 decision to Valdosta State in the opener. Bounced back in the second game of that doubleheader, though, and actually had the lead on Valdosta State after the top of the 8th inning as they played extras, and Turner has another strikeout. Her second of the day. CSU took a 4-3 edge in the top of the 8th in extras against the number 2 team in the country, and then surrendered a 2-run walk-off home run that handed them a 5-4 defeat. Zandria Usher, the designated player, steps in. Turner with a couple of strikeouts and a first pitch strike to Usher, a junior out of Covington, Georgia. This group coming in here under head coach LaWanda Pearson, coaching over in the third base coach's box. 0-5 for this group as it's swung on and missed. Turner reaches back and throws it by her. It's 0-2. CSU, though, after losing the doubleheader to Valdosta State, went on to sweep Queens University out of North Carolina in the second of the 2 doubleheaders they had, as that one's fouled off the mask of Casey Meeks behind the plate. Umpire will let her walk that one off, shake it off. So a doubleheader sweep of Queens, even their record at 2 apiece as they won 10-5 and 8-2. And then they've had 9 days off. It wasn't the way that Brad Huskisson wanted his schedule to go, but it was the way it ended up. 9 days between games. So it's been all about the practice field after those first 4. 0-2 the count to Usher as Turner searches for a perfect first inning. 0-2 pitch, too far around, and Turner rings them up in order. Strikes out the side, 1-2-3 in the Clark Atlanta top of the first. Lady Cougars coming to bat for the first time on their home field in 2015 after this. Lady Cougars coming to bat for the first time in 2015 on their home field. It'll be Kia Smith to lead things off, followed by Mackenzie Fagioli. Taylor Turner hitting for herself in the third spot. Kristen Carr, the designated player, hits cleanup. Lindsay DeFee, Rachel Rhodes, Casey Meeks hitting 5, 6, and 7. Callie Starr hits 8th, and Katie White rounds out the order in the number 9 spot. Is a host of new players for Brad Huskisson, and with it comes a new approach to the way they do things offensively. First pitch to Smith, who starts her move towards the circle. On the slap attempt is taken low and outside for a ball. Kashara Givens, freshman out of Walterboro, South Carolina, is the one that's in the circle. She's 0-2 so far in the season, as our home plate umpire is going to walk out all the way to the circle and speak with Givens out there about something. But Brad Huskisson's bunch only brought back a couple of players, really only 3 starters, even though he did bring back his entire pitching staff from last season. But the majority of the people playing the field, it's all brand new, starting with Kia Smith, the freshman out of Noonan, Georgia. Adds a new dimension to the top of the order, where the last couple of years the top of the order has been a power hitter. As that one's low and away again, it's 2-0. 2 years ago, Corey Waugh slugging nearly 20 home runs out of the leadoff spot. Last year, Suzanne Carney hit double-digit home runs in the leadoff spot. That's not going to be the case, or at least they're not expecting that from Smith here at the top. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes it for a strike. It's 2 balls and a strike. Key on the opening weekend, started all 4 games in the leadoff spot, hit 3 for 10, a .300 average. She also walked 4 times, scored 4 runs, and stole 3 bases. This one slapped on the ground to short. Woods will field and will have no chance over at first as Smith can motor down that line. It's a new dimension and an added dynamic for CSU offensively this year. Speed at the top, speed through the middle, and speed at the back of the order as well. And now we'll see what they do with Smith on first, who ran nearly every time she reached base on the opening weekend. She's off on the first one to Fagioli. The throw down is late, and Kia Smith has another stolen base. So Smith swipes her 4th of the year. The pitch missed to Fagioli, and it's 1-0. Mackenzie, a freshman, 5'5", out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Product of Mill Creek High School, lays down the bunt, and there's nobody covering first. Givens picks up the ball. The first baseman, Green, charged as well, and Aldridge was late getting to second, and now Fagioli's going to take second as well, as nobody was covering up the second base bag. So small ball will rule the day for the Lady Cougars at the top, and it's doing so here. So it's a bunt single for Fagioli, moves up to second. Kia Smith over to third, and there's two in scoring position for Taylor Turner trying to help herself out. New look CSU softball this year as the first one hits the outside corner for a strike. Turner, one of the few mainstays on this group, one of just a couple of seniors, along with Kristen Carr, Casey Meeks, and Lindsay DeFee. Turner on the ground towards third, but on the backside of Kia Smith in foul territory, and it's 0-2. Taylor, 3 for 13 through the first 4 games, a .231 average, a double for her. She's tied for the team lead with 3 runs driven in, and she can add to that total here, but she's down in the count 0-2. Smith at third, Fagioli out at second. That one well outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Winston, Nelson, and Nelson around the outfield, left to right. Vasson, Woods, Aldridge, and Green third to first. Woods behind the plate. And Givens in the circle. The 1-2 aligned in the gap in left center field. Going back, still going back. It's off the wall. 2 runs are going to score. And Turner's going to coast into second with a stand-up double. Smith and Fagioli score. It's 2-0 CSU. So a pair of runs come in to score on Turner's second double of the year. Give her 5 RBI for the season. And just like that, CSU has a 2-0 advantage. Turner puts 2 on the board. Kristen Carr to the batter's box, the designated player, one of the other 4 seniors on this Lady Cougar roster. Turner now at second, still nobody out as Carr fouls this one down the right field line and out of play. Carr leads this team in hits so far, 6 of them in 15 at-bats. She has a .400 average, 3 doubles, and a couple driven in. Had a good career so far as a Lady Cougar and looking to improve on it in her 4th and final season here. All-conference selection as a utility player. Takes that one. Moves her in front of the count. 2 balls and a strike. Kristen last season hit .323. 11 home runs, drove in 41. Had 50 hits on the year, which was second most on this Lady Cougar squad. And she's got another one here. Rolls this one into left. They're going to hold Turner at third, but they'll be on the corners still with nobody out. So 4 batters and 4 hits for CSU as Lindsay DeFee digs in. Turner to third, Carr to first, Lindsay DeFee to the batter's box. DeFee, the senior from Eufaula, Alabama, her second year in a Lady Cougar uniform, takes the first one in there for a strike. She hit .250 a year ago, drove out 10 home runs, drove in 22 runs for herself. She's 4 for 8 on the season as she takes the off-speed pitch. It's a ball and a strike. 4 for 8 and a double and 2 runs driven in. Brad Huskisson employing a new style, more about speed and small ball. His team has just 1 home run to this point as this one's lofted into shallow center. Nelson comes in to make the grab. Turner's going to tag from third. They'll cut the throw off. DeFee with the sacrifice fly, and it's 3-0. So a successful at bat there for DeFee. DeFee drives in Turner, and Rachel Rhodes will dig in. Kristen Carr on first, and now one away. Rhodes lines one the opposite way, inside, outs it to right. That's in for a base hit, make it 5 hits in this first inning for CSU, and they're on first and second. So Carr advances up to second. Rhodes on at first. Casey Meeks, the catcher, will dig in. Meeks had just one at bat. Back on the opening weekend, she was 0 for 1. Did reach base once, though. She was hit by a pitch in her other plate appearance. Takes one over the outside corner for a strike. So 4 singles, a double, and a sacrifice fly so far in the inning for this Lady Cougar offense. The 0-1. Down the left field line and shallow. Coming on, a dive, doesn't get it. Winston missed it and it rolled away, and now the Lady Cougars will get to run. 1 run comes in. Rhodes rounding third. She'll come without a throw. It's a 2-run double for Casey Meeks, and it's 5-0. So Meeks drives in 2, her first hit of her senior season. 5-0 CSU, and Callie Starr, the freshman shortstop, digs in. Freshman out of Lawrenceville from Collins Hill High School. Takes a first one over the outside corner for a strike. Starr just 1 hit and 9 at bats so far. 2 runs driven in. A walk and a couple of runs scored as well, as that one's way outside. It's a ball and a strike. 5 runs in, 6 hits so far, and Casey Meeks on at second with just 1 away. Going to the outside corner again, missed off the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike. Starr, part of this group of 12 on this roster that have never played a game in a Lady Cougar uniform prior to this season, as that one rolls right by Brad Huskisson in the third base coach's box area. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very fresh, young roster, and a rejuvenated Brad Huskisson coaching this bunch. The 2-2. Way outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The last 2 senior classes have done a lot for CSU. 7 all-conference selections at a Peach Belt Conference Player of the Year, but now they start over. On the ground to third, it's speared there by Vassan, thrown on to first, and Starr is out. Hit it hard, but right at the third baseman, and there's 2 away. Katie White will dig in now as CSU has batted around top to bottom, have dug in here in this first inning. White watches the first one. It's taken for a ball. A newcomer, but not a freshman, a junior. Transfer out of Gulf Coast State College down in Florida from Seal, Alabama. Swings through the 1-0 pitch. It's a ball and a strike. White 3 for 12. Up in Milledgeville in the 4 games. She drove in 3, scored 4 times, walked a couple, stole a couple bases. Has dropped to the bottom of the order for today's game, though. She hit up in the middle of it about 10 days ago. Swings out in front of that one. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Meeks at second, 2 away. Clark Atlanta trying to put an end to this 5-run inning. The 1-2 lined right to the shortstop Woods, and that will retire the side for CSU, but not before 9 Lady Cougar hitters come to the plate. 6 of them reach base, 5 of them cross home plate, And after one, CSU on top of Clark Atlanta 5-0 here on Cougar Sports TV. Stephen Williams back here with you on Cougar Sports TV, the home opener of 2015 for Columbus State softball, and started just as well as they could have hoped for. 1-2-3 top of the first inning with 3 strikeouts for Taylor Turner, and then 5 runs in the bottom of the first here against Clark Atlanta. Jessica Vasson, the third baseman, digs in, the cleanup hitter for the Panthers against Turner, who struck out the side in inning number 1, and she starts with a first pitch strike here in the second. Vasson, a sophomore out of Atlanta, transfer from Darton State College, takes that one over the outside half of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Turner, who just rolled through that first inning. The 0-2 pitch. Low and outside, well off the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Turner came into this one 1-0, but had an ERA north of 9 after the opening weekend. As she has her 4th consecutive strikeout to start this one. Just reached back again and blew it right by the hitter, and there's one away. That'll bring the catcher, Sharnitra Woods, to the plate. Woods, freshman, another one from out of Compton, California. They have several from Compton out of Westchester High School there. So pipelining those players from California all the way into Atlanta. Taylor Turner pitched in 2 games in the opening weekend, gave up 4 runs in just an inning of work against Valdosta State in that first game as she ties up Woods, and she's ahead 0-2. Then she got a victory in the 10-5 win over Queens on February 1st. She worked 4 1/3 that day, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits. Had just 1 strikeout through those 2 appearances, and she has 4 of them here so far, and looking for a 5th as she throws that one off the plate away. Inside corner, called strike 3, and there is strikeout number 5. So Turner in cruise control early. Brianna Aldridge, the second baseman now, will try to put a bat on the ball. 5 hitters up, 5 have made the turn back to the first base dugout. as that one's taken off the plate for a ball. Aldridge out of Tracy, California from Modesto Junior College. Digs in on that left side. 4 swinging strikeouts and 1 looking. This one slapped over off the brick facing on the third base side. It's a ball and a strike. Swung on and missed, went upstairs with it. Aldridge couldn't make contact, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Looking for a 6th consecutive strikeout to start off this game is the senior. The 1-2 pitch. Off speed, had Aldridge fooled, and it's 6 up, 6 down, 6 strikeouts for Taylor Turner. Perfect through 2 for the right-hander. And the Lady Cougar offense right back to the plate. 5-0 CSU in front. CSU sends 9 to the plate in the first. 5 of them score, and now they go right back to the top of the order to start off inning number 2. Kia Smith will lead things off. Fagioli and Turner to follow her. 5 runs on 6 hits in the first for the Lady Cougars as Smith comes back to work, shows bunt, and takes it for a ball. Taylor Turner making quick work so far of the Clark Atlanta hitters. She's faced 6 of them. She struck out 6 of them. Smith shows bunt again, pulls back and takes it low. 2 balls and no strikes. Smith singled on the ground softly to shortstop to lead off the game, then stole second. Came around to score on Taylor Turner's 2-run double. The 2-0. Drops into the zone. 2 balls and a strike. Pitch to Smith, rolled on the ground softly to second. They'll have to get rid of it in a hurry, and they do just in time to get Smith on a bang-bang play at the bag. Aldridge to Green on the putout, and Smith down by half a step. Mackenzie Fagioli will hit now. Laid down a bunt her first time. Was able to win the race over to the first base bag. Nobody covering up. Now she'll have a chance to swing the bat as she takes the first pitch strike. Pitch misses away, a ball and a strike. Fagioli hitting in the second spot in this order. Offers a variety of options up there, handles the bat well as she hits this one over at the Lady Cougar dugout on the third base side. She's down in the count 1-2. Had 3 hits and 4 at-bats on the opening weekend. A cool 750 average, which is up to 800 now with the bunt single. She's driven in 2. Just another one of the freshmen that's trying to contribute and that Brad Huskisson needs to contribute in a large way. This one to right, started in and now going back on it. Nelson able to make the grab. So the first 2 hitters retired here in the second. On the ground to third, Taylor Turner on one hop. The throw over to first retires Turner, and so after getting 5 runs in the first, CSU goes in order in the second. So a quick second inning here at Cougar Field. 5-0, Lady Cougars still in front, trying to get above 500 for the first time on the season. CSU goes in order in its half of the second inning. We've played 2. Lady Cougars by 5 here on Cougar Sports TV. Kashara Gibbons, the pitcher in the circle for Clark Atlanta, now into the batter's box to face her counterpart, Taylor Turner, who she just retired, and she swings through the first one. Taylor Turner so far 6 up, 6 down, 6 strikeouts, and she has rolled right through the first 6 hitters in this Clark Atlanta order. That one swung on and missed as well, as Clark Atlanta quite behind the fastball of Turner. Another strikeout goes upstairs, swing and a miss, make it 7. Now for the right-hander, who just continues to rack them up. That'll bring Tamara Green, the first baseman, to the plate. Sophomore out of Santa Clarita, California. Swings through the first one again. It's 0-1. 7 players on this Clark Atlanta roster, hailing from all the way out west in California. Another swing. Another one comes up empty. It's 0-2. A couple as well from New York. There's one from New Jersey. This is a group that has spanned the United States to compile its roster. 0-2 the count. The pitch upstairs, a little away as well. A ball and 2 strikes. Turner ready. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. CSU players all checking their wristbands. Brad Huskisson giving the signs that way, so everybody on the same page, but Taylor Turner doesn't need them to be on the same page at the moment. That's 8 consecutive strikeouts for the right-hander to start the game. And right now, the only work for the defenders is throwing the ball around the infield. Asia Nelson will try to keep Taylor Turner from striking out the first 9 hitters of this game. The right fielder digs in and swings through the first pitch. Nelson, a junior out of Bealsville, Florida. Now she will come over and talk to Lawanda Pearson down the third base line, trying to solve the puzzle that is Taylor Turner in that circle. Nelson back to the box. Turner ready in the circle. Nobody on and 2 away here in the third. Nelson started to drop that top hand for a bunt. Was able to keep it back, though. A ball and a strike as the pitch was in the dirt. Brad Huskisson calling things from over in his spot in the corner of the dugout. The bunt attempt is popped up into foul territory, so maybe that was what Lawanda Pearson and Nelson discussed. Just anything right now to make contact with the pitches coming out of Taylor Turner's right hand. A ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2 called, strike 3. The run continues for Taylor Turner. She's seen 9 hitters. She's struck out all 9, and we've played 2.5. Lady Cougars up 5-0 on Clark Atlanta here on Cougar Sports TV. You can't do it any better than Taylor Turner's doing it right now for CSU in the circle. And now she'll look for a little more offensive help behind her. She struck out all 9 hitters she's seen. And now the 4, 5, 6 in the order for CSU comes to bat. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, up 5-0. Kristen Carr to lead things off, the designated player. Right to 3rd. Vasad handles it again, and CSU needs to pick on a different infielder. She handled cleanly, 3 hot shots over there, the hot corner, and there's one away.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 12, Lindsay DeFee.
Lindsay DeFee, the hitter. Lady Cougar right fielder. Takes one way outside for a ball. CSU's had its last 6 hitters retired now after 6 of the first 7 reached base. Continued to hit the ball hard as they do here, and DeFee's going to reach. Hit the ball hard, some previous at-bats that didn't get through, but DeFee has a base hit after a sacrifice fly in her first try, and there's a base runner on. Rachel Rhodes will bat now with a runner on and one away. 5-0 our score. 7 hits now for CSU. One of those was for Rachel Rhodes. Make it 2 for Rachel and 8 on the day for CSU. She pokes that one right back through the middle for a clean single. So 2 on and 1 out, and Casey Meeks will come to the plate. Meeks blooped a double down the left field line that brought a couple of runs home. Back in the first inning, scored 2. That was the end, though, of CSU's 5-run rally as they left her on the base paths out at second. She'll take a first pitch strike to put her down in the count 0-1. Goes towards that same area, this time in foul territory, though, a little more shallow. Nobody can get to it. It'll land foul, and it'll be 0-2. Rhodes on at first, DeFee at second, 1 away with Meeks at the plate, down in the count 0-2. Casey, the senior out of Waycross, Georgia. Final go-round for her. Low and outside, scooped up by Woods behind the plate. It's 1-2. Meeks on a line to short. It's cleanly caught there. Dropping to a knee was Woods at short. So the runners have to stay put on the line out. And now Callie Starr bats with 2 away. Trying to keep the inning alive and put CSU back on the board. She takes a first pitch strike and she's down in the count. Starr hit one hard on the ground to third back in the first, but it was handled cleanly. This one out in front of it again. Rolls it past Katie White in the on-deck circle, and it's 0-2. So 6 hits in the first 7 batters. CSU's had just 2 hits since that point. The 0-2 is outside, pulled the string a little bit, took something off of it. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Givens to the plate with it. Fouled off by Starr. She fights one off. In around her hands. Runners stay put. A ball and 2 strikes. DeFee singled with 1. And then Rachel Rhodes followed with another right back through the middle. They're still at first and second, though, with 2 away. Starr down the line, and that will fall foul. Winston, the left fielder, guarding that line, but hit hard enough that she couldn't get to it. So it stays a ball and 2 strikes. Winston now hugging the line heavily down that left field line, basically playing in the corner. Straight away everywhere else. Way outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Winston hanging out about 10 feet from the wall and maybe 8 feet from the line. The 2-2 from Givens. Starr stayed back on it and pops it foul out of play over by the first base dugout. Good job on the off-speed not to give up on it. Fought it off into foul territory and stays alive to see another pitch. The 2-2. Went after that one away from her. Not a good swing, and she's down on strikes, and that will strand a pair of base runners here in the third. So the Lady Cougars put 2 on, but fail to score for the second straight inning. They lead it 5-0 after 3 here at Cougar Field. Stephen Williams back here with you in Columbus, Georgia. Cougar Sports TV, your home for CSU athletics. Lady Cougar softball hitting the air for the first time this academic and athletic year. The 2015 home opener. Lady Cougars off to a 5-0 start after 3 as we start the top of the 4th here against Clark Atlanta. First pitch to Tanisha Winston. The left fielder is in there for a strike from Taylor Turner, who's having herself an okay day. 9 hitters faced, 9 hitters retired, all of them strikeouts. Not a bad day at the office for the senior right-hander. This one, though, will be force the defense into action. Katie White to her right, and there is the first out, not on strikes for Clark Atlanta. Taylor Turner lulling her defense to sleep out there through the first 3 innings, but Katie White handles the first chance here in the 4th. And Shalonda Woods, the shortstop, will bat. Woods trying to lay down the bunt, fouls it back into the netting, and she's down in the count 0-1. Again, Woods trying to put the bunt down, too far around as she failed a couple of times her first time to the plate as well back in inning number 1. She's missed the bunt attempt twice here in the 4th. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Turner winds to the plate with it. Strikeout number 10. Zandria Usher, the designated player, will bat now. 10 strikeouts for the right-hander Taylor Turner. As that one's fouled right off the brick facing and straight up into the air behind the plate. Cougar baseball team getting their practicing in. Off over our left shoulder. Over at Ragsdale Field. They're back in action tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Right here at Ragsdale Field on this campus here at Columbus State University. Auburn Montgomery in town for a single game at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Before the Cougars head off to Pembroke, North Carolina for conference play starting over the weekend. Swing and a miss there. Pitch out away from Usher, and Taylor Turner seeking strikeout number 11 is 1 strike away. Lady Cougar defense playing straight away for Usher, the 0-2. A check swing, fouls it back, and she'll stay alive. Stays no balls and 2 strikes as Turner's been a strike-throwing machine so far. Pulled the string there, left it a little bit low, had Usher fooled out on her front foot. But she was able to keep the hands back long enough to take the pitch for a ball. A ball and 2 strikes now. Popped up in the air over our right shoulder. That'll wind up in the road. So it'll stay a 1 ball and 2 strike count. Usher in the batter's box. A couple of runners already retired here in the inning. And make it 11 strikeouts for the right-hander Taylor Turner. Call down on strikes is Usher. 11 of 12 have been set down on strikes by the senior out of Savannah, Georgia. Halfway home here in the 2015 season opener. Columbus State 5, Clark Atlanta 0. Taylor Turner rolling in the circle. Now it's time to get the Lady Cougar offense rolling once more. 5 runs for them in the first. They've been held scoreless in the second and the third, and now they'll go to work with the 9-1-2 in the bottom half of the 4th inning with a 5-0 lead. Love to tack on a few more runs here and finish this one off. Katie White to lead things off. The Lady Cougars second baseman takes the first pitch out of the zone for a ball. White hit one hard back in the first inning, but right at the shortstop Woods, who speared it for the final out of inning number 1. Pitch hits the inside corner there. It's a ball and a strike. 5 hits in the first 6 batters, rather 6 hits in the first 7 batters. Since then, just 2 hits over the last 10. Make it 3 in the last 11 as Katie White reaches out and pokes one right back through the middle for the 9th hit of the day. So White singles, the 9th hit of the day for CSU, and now back to the top of the order we go. Kia Smith, the CSU center fielder, digs in on the left side with White on at first, who's already stolen a couple bases this year. See if they put her on the move. White is running on the first pitch, the throw down, the head first dive, and she's in there safely. Smith bunted through the pinch, so she's down in the count 0-1, but White has her 3rd stolen base of the season, and now Smith a chance to move her around. Showing bunt again. I think they're going to say she fouled it off. White was running on the pitch, had 3rd base stolen. Home plate umpire, though, says Smith fouled off the bunt at the plate, so they'll move White back to 2nd. And it's a no ball and 2 strike count. Runner in scoring position, nobody out, and Smith at the plate. Givens 0-2 on the ground to 2nd. Fielded by Aldridge. They'll throw Smith out at first, but it's a productive out. Moves the runner up 60 feet. White standing over at 3rd with 1 away. Mackenzie Fagioli, the 3rd baseman, steps in now. Flew out to right field her last time up. A bunt single for her back in the 1st. She shows bunt, pulls back and fouls it back to the screen. It's 0-1. Right back to the circle. Givens fields. She's going to first with it. She's got the out. White delayed it. She'll break for the plate, and she'll dive in safely. So some good base running there from Katie White. We'll turn that into an RBI for Fagioli. CSU on the board for the first time since the bottom half of the 1st, and it's 6-0 Lady Cougars. Taylor Turner digs in on the right side, takes the pitch behind the left-hand batter's box for a ball. Turner 1 for 2 in the game as she hits this one into the gap in right center field and going back. Still back. The right fielder Nelson can't make a play on it. It'll bounce up against the wall, and Turner will have her 2nd 2-bagger of the day. Turner doubled off the left center field wall earlier to drive in 2, and that one to the right center field wall puts her in scoring position with 2 away. So the day for Taylor Turner just continues to get better. 11 strikeouts and 12 hitters in the circle, and a couple of doubles and 2 runs driven in at the plate. Kristen Carr steps in, watches this one bounce away from the catcher Woods. That'll allow Turner to scamper up over to 3rd on the wild pitch. Carr at the plate, 1 for 2. She singled back into 1st, grounded out to 3rd to lead off the 3rd inning. This one scatters them over in the Lady Cougar dugout as it ricochets off the brick facing. See, she's been out in front a couple of times on some hard foul balls down that left field line. Turner at third, 2 away, already a run in the inning. Outside, 2 balls and a strike now. Givens has gone the whole way so far for Clark Atlanta in the circle, the 2-1. Carr rips it towards third, off the glove of Vassan, who recovers, throws, and gets Carr at the bag. Nice play by the Clark Atlanta third baseman. Keeps another run off the board and retires the side here in the fourth for CSU. They get a run, though, in on the Fagioli ground out. 6-0, Columbus State in front. Twelve up and 12 down for Taylor Turner, 11 of them via the strikeout. As the senior goes back to work in the circle against the 4, 5, and 6 in the order for Clark Atlanta. Jessica Vassan, the third baseman, to start things off. Only 1 ball put in play so far by this Clark Atlanta team. That was a soft ground out to second from Tanisio Winston leading off the fourth. Now starting to resort to trying to bunt to get the ball in play, but so far having no such luck. Lady Cougars working on 2 consecutive victories, trying to add 2 more today. Second game to follow about 25 or 30 minutes after this one ends, as it's another swing and a miss to make it no balls and 2 strikes. Been a banner year for Columbus State Athletics so far. And the spring sports now trying to cap off what has been such a phenomenal run to this point. Strikeout number 12 there for Turner. Tossed it around the infield as Vassan down on strikes for the second time. Turner has pretty much been unhittable so far through the first 4 1/3 innings. Sharnitra Woods, the catcher, digs into the box now. Base is clear and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. She'll lay down the bunt this time. Fagioli at third will field. White covering up at first, and there's 2 down. 5-4 goes the punt out for the Lady Cougars. Second ball that's been put in play. And now Brianna Aldridge will hit. Brianna Aldridge shows bunt, pulls back, and takes it for a strike. Clark Atlanta at this point just abandoning swinging at it, just trying to get the ball in play. Aldridge goes after that one, wasn't close. No balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 as Turner tries to toss her 5th consecutive perfect inning. Goes outside with it. Aldridge lays off. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. Very little work for the CSU defense out there around the infield. And no work so far for the outfield. The 1-2 stayed back on it to third. Backhand side. Fagioli's throw is high. Gets over the head of Anderson. But Lindsay DeFee in the right spot to back it up as it bounced away from the dugout. And Clark Atlanta will have their first base runner of the ball game. An infield single there for Aldridge. Just the slap on the backhand side of third allows Aldridge to reach. Infield single for the Clark Atlanta second baseman. And Kashara Givens will bat with a runner on for the first time for the Panthers. So Clark Atlanta finally has a runner reach first base. First time as Taylor Turner had retired the first 14 hitters. Givens part of the 9 in a row that struck out the first time through the order. The 0-1. She bunts at it again. Goes too far around. It's 0-2. So a 1 in the hit column now for Clark Atlanta. 0-1-0 for the Panthers. 6 runs on 10 hits. No errors for CSU to this point. And again, LaWanda Pearson will call time to speak with her hitter. Talked about Columbus State baseball happening tomorrow at 4. Also a pair of ranked CSU basketball teams getting set to take the floor in the Lumpkin Center tomorrow. Columbus State Lady Cougars, 22-1 on the season, up to number 7 in today's poll that just came out, so as they continue to climb up. And the Cougar men at 21 now. First time they've been in the poll since 2006. Cracking the top 25 this week at 18-3. And number 21, they have first place on the line tomorrow night against Montevallo. Too far inside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 5:30 for the women. 7:30 for the men's half of the doubleheader. That's in the Lumpkin Center tomorrow and right here on Cougar Sports TV. And the 1-2 to Givens up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Should be a strong pair of games inside the Lumpkin Center off to our right tomorrow night. The 2-2. Chopped foul at the plate. Goes towards the backstop, and it'll stay a 2-2 count. 2-out single for Aldridge has her on at first. Givens the one at the plate, trying to keep the Clark Atlanta inning going. The 2-2, swing and a miss, chased one out of the zone. Taylor Turner strikes out another pair. That's 13 now in the game, and she has another 0 on the board. Clark Atlanta has its first hit of the game, but CSU has continued to put zeros up in the scoring column. 6-0, Columbus State on top. Lady Cougars looking to put the finishing touches on a third victory on the season. 6-0 CSU in front of Clark Atlanta. Lindsay DeFee to lead things off. Rachel Rhodes, Casey Meeks to follow, as CSU needs just 2 here in the 5th to put an end to this one. 6-0 where it stands. DeFee at the plate to lead things off. She's 1 for 1 in the game. A sacrifice fly and a run driven in the first. A single back in the third as she pops this one up down the right field line, but that one will stretch over the Clark Atlanta dugout and out of play. 10 hits already for the Lady Cougars, but they've scored just 1 run since back in the first inning when they put 5 on the board through the first 7 hitters. Oh, 0-2 to DeFee, leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. CSU up 6-0. In the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes. Gibbons has done a nice job since struggling in that bottom half of the first inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes now as the pitch is away. Lady Cougars with Clark Atlanta once more today, and then they'll kick off the CSU Cougar Classic on Friday night here at Cougar Field. Line drive through into center field for a base hit. DeFee got tied up but muscled it past the diving shortstop Woods. DeFee has her second hit of the day, and she stays perfect at the plate.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 8, Rachel Rhodes.
Brad Huskisson going to his bench for the first time now. Sydney Barker will come on and run over at first. After DeFee picks up her second hit of the day, that's 11 now for the Lady Cougars. And now Rachel Rhodes to the plate. Rhodes with a pair of singles and a run scored on a 2-for-2 day. She drives this one. That one's going all the way to the wall in left center and in a hurry. Barker around second. She'll stop at third. Rhodes cruises into second with a double, and they're in scoring position with nobody out. So Rhodes stays perfect again, and now Brad Huskisson looks like he's going to make another substitution. Barker moved all the way around to third. So CSU will check in another runner. Jessica Seegers will come on and run out at second in place of Rachel Rhodes. So a pair of runners on in scoring position for Casey Meeks, who drove 2 home with a double back in the first. Trying to drive another pair in here with nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Meeks 1 for 2 in the game. Lines this one into left center field. That's down for a hit. 1 run in. They'll stop Seegers over at third, and they're on the corners. It's 7-0 Columbus State. Good piece of hitting there from the Lady Cougar backstop into left center field, going the other way, and they're on the corners. Couple of changes happening here for CSU now. Alora Thompson will go run over at first in place of Casey Meeks. And there will be a change at the plate in place of Callie Starr.
Laura Thompson. Now batting for Columbus State, number 2, Keely Wall.
Keely Waugh will be the batter now with the runners on the corners and nobody out. Thompson on over at first, runs well. Seegers the pinch runner over at third. 7-0 CSU. Trying to put an early end to this one. Keely Waugh, the freshman. Younger sister of Corey Waugh, the all-conference player from a couple of years ago for this Lady Cougar team. Thompson running on the pitch. They'll let her have second base. Pitch was called a strike. The 0-1 into center field. Center fielder started in on it. She's going to go over her head. A run will come in to score. They'll stop the other runner at third, and that will put an end to things here in game number 1. CSU gets a couple of runs in the 5th. It's an 8-0 run rule final in favor of the Lady Cougars as Keely Waugh puts the finishing touches, driving home Seegers to give CSU the 8-0 victory and to move them to 3-2 on the season. Taylor Turner finishes off a one-hit shutout to improve her to 2-0 on the season. She allows just one hit, strikes out 13, and picks up the victory. CSU gets 8 runs on 14 hits on the day, and Keely Waugh's below the wall finishes it off in stylish fashion. So it takes just about an hour and 15 minutes for CSU to dispatch Clark Atlanta here in game number 1, 8-0. They'll take 25 minutes or so away, and they'll come back for a second game between these same two teams here at Cougar Field, and we will do the same. Your final from game number 1 here in the 2015 home opener, 8-0 Columbus State takes down Clark Atlanta.